Oops, sorry, wrong intro. I know this is pretty similar to a video the Dark Reindeer would make, so I just kinda had to do a little tribute. But anyways, on to the real intro.
Dumbass.
How's it going, everybody? It's the Dark Author here, and today we're gonna have a different kind of video. Today I wanted to go over my personal gripes and things from the creepypasta community, / what you should and shouldn't do. These are just gonna be a selection of few things that annoy the fuck out of me. I'm tired of seeing these tropes in creepypastas, and most of the day creepypastas are just not really too scary. They all follow one distinct pattern and pretty much just lose all kinds of forms of originality. But yeah, let's go over some of these right now. As you all are probably familiar with nowadays, the common trope was always to do hyper-realistic blood and guts. So take for example the Squidward suicide image. Notice how incredibly detailed the eyes are and everything. How it goes into obnoxious levels of detail judging on the blood and the gore. It's like, we don't need to see this. You can do horror, and you can do scary stuff without having to go into incredible detail with the gore. I mean, Stephen King, he's a really good author, and that guy doesn't really have to do too much into the gore. But apparently, whoever writes these stories nowadays just has to really emphasize how much the guys are getting cut up. We don't need it. It's insignificant detail for the most part. But it seems most modern day creepypastas go in a typical pattern, well, gaming creepypastas at the least. So you have one thing, a normal player, describing their background a tiny little bit, then playing a game like Fortnite or whatever the heck. Then something fantastic or strange comes into the item shop that they have never seen before. Weird descriptions, weird backgrounds, maybe they have some kind of medical condition. So they play a game and oh my god, the controller moves on its own. It's killing people, there's actually blood and guts in the game. You know, instead of doing something cool that I did, with my own Fortnite creepypasta, trying to decipher and go into the minds of the people and try to explain why there's so many duplicate characters. No. Random scary skin, make it more scary. Pretty simple. To be honest, I don't really know much of a place where I've seen that before. It sounds oddly familiar though, that a simple thing would just follow that pattern over and over for like a year or two, not really changing up the format. And then when they run out of ideas, they just go back and remake another bit of the story and do it slightly differently with updated dialogue and better quality in the microphone, but not really changing up the ideas too much. But to be honest, like I've said, you don't need blood and guts to do good stories. My buddy the Shadow Reader, he does really good creepypastas a lot of the time, and he doesn't have to go into so much detail with the blood and guts. Look at some of his creepypasta videos, like The Restaurant for example. The only bits of blood and guts at the end is that, at the end. He doesn't go into too much explicit detail with it. He just focuses more on the characters, and how Richard's addiction slowly takes over his mind and everything, and at the end, Richard tries to stop it, but it's already too late. And another creepypasta he did was The Rage, I believe it was. It was basically, what happened was the citizens of Elmore got really annoyed with Gumball's family's antics, so they basically capture all of them in their sleep, and just completely erase all of them except for Nicole out of existence. So what happens is, Nicole comes back and she is really pissed off, like Go-Go Super Saiyan 1 over it. And Gumball gets hit with like an arrow and bleeds out in her arms. So essentially she just completely WTF booms everything, and nearly everybody dies. But seriously man, creepypastas nowadays just need to have some more originality in it. Explore new territory, try new ideas, don't just rely on the same boring tropes over and over and over. Whenever I make my stories, I try my hardest to innovate, make it slightly different than the ones that were before, you know, just try and add things on instead of relying on the same old beaten to death methods. Seriously, if you want to become a really good author or writer, try some things new. If it doesn't pay off, learn from your experiences, simple as. At least you'll be able to say to yourself that that's original, and I finally did something different for once. If you have any stories you'd like to submit to me, you can always send them via the email in my About section on my channel. But remember though, if you do try to send some in, try and make it different, you know, cover some new topics. But whatever you do, for the love of God, Don't do Friday Night Funkin' creepypastas. Like, come on. I get it, you know, hopping on a trend and whatnot, you have to do it to keep your channel alive, but creepypastas? Seriously? What's next? Dating simulator creepypastas, high school DxD creepypastas. Oh, and don't let me forget, Plants vs Zombies creepypastas are most likely going to be coming next, who knows? But seriously, try something new. Because this is literally my face every single time I see a tired and annoyed trope being repeated over and over and over. Like, I'm really tired of it. So, I hope you don't mind the sort of venting session I did. It was kind of venting, whatever the heck. I hope you found some kind of enjoyment out of it, and you know, personally, what makes me tick. But yeah, if you want to see me talk about some more of my annoyances that I have, be sure to let me know. I could turn this into a little series, kind of like how the Dark Reindeer did his Reindeer vs. the World series. But yeah, I have tons of annoyances and other small little specific things that really grinds my gears. But overall though, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care everybody.